It's Sunday and we're going to find out, is Elddis build quality better? We've gone and bought a 2025 Elddis because it was a nice van, because it ticked a lot of the boxes, and we also wanted to find out whether the build quality is better. We'd had lots of people saying it was, so we're going to find out. First of all, we're going to have a look. We've got a nice motorhome. So we've got a couple of nice motorhomes at the minute, so we'll have a look at those. We'll have a look. We're struggling. A lot of the new caravans that had come in have already been sold. So we've not been able to do a video on the newer ones that have come in quick enough before they've been sold. So it creates a bit of an issue. But we've got a motorhome, so this has just literally arrived. We had a look in the big beast, the big Comanche, the other week, so we'll have a look in that one. But let's just give you a quick info of this one, because if you didn't watch Friday's video, you might not have saw this. So this is a 2016, 2016 Deathless Sunlight TI. So it's got a nice little fixed bed, nice little side washroom. It's full berth. So the dinette at the side here makes into a smaller bed. We've got 4 travelling seat belts. And then we've also got automatic gearbox, aircon. It's on at 39,995 and it's about 21,000 miles. Really good service history as well. So if you're after a nice little sort of under 40 grand 4-berth motorhome that's a good compact size as well, and it's not too big. I think 6.9 metres, call it 683 metres it is, so work on 6.9. Yeah, nice little motorhome. So this is just coming. But the real reason that we're sort of wanting to look at this video is because we want to find out whether the Elddises that have been coming out of the factory, are they rubbish or are they not? So first-hand experience is the best way. Instead of listening to what people say, rumours, people says this, people say that, let's find out for ourselves. So up here, probably what we had found over time, one of the best selling vans has been the little Elddis Xplore 304. So what we've got here is the newer generation of that van. So they call it the Xplore XC Lite, which is basically an Elddis Xplore 304. So same sort of length, same width. This has got slightly updated things. So we've got the Alco ATC fitted on here. We've got a motor mover that's been fitted on here, and then there's a couple of other little extras as well. So they've got on the barbecue point. In the one storage locker, we have got an electric socket. We've got storage going underneath the bed. We've got our normal sort of lockers here for our mains and battery, and yeah, looks quite nice on the outside. It's the newer sort of side panels that are more GRP. We're still using plastic panels on the front, which is I suppose it's one of those that, to keep the weight light, 1,090 kilograms maximum, so MTPLM of 1,090. Now the only way that they can keep that lightweight is by using plastic panels. So only time will tell of whether those plastic panels are better. Personally, I think that they'd have been better going on to GRP panels, adding a little bit of weight and stopping any issues with cracking. They've still used a big window at the front, so they've still gone to that big front window, which again was a heavy window on just that bar to hold the window on, window hinge bar basically. But when we inspected that, they have put more screws in there for security. So whereas sometimes they didn't even actually put screws in, they are screwed. The locker at the front, now we used to have problems with the lockers on these. Again, a big locker for such a sort of small hinge, and again these would end up coming up and sometimes actually fall off. Now we give this a good testing and we couldn't get it to actually fall off. You do have to be gentle and you do have to be careful with it, and I suppose the thing with it is knowing not to go right fully up and trying to hold it up here. That's going to stop you having issues. Actually knowing that if you try and force this box up, it's going to potentially cause problems to this hinge bar and probably fall off. So again, just maybe a little bit of user knowledge on that, but if you use it the way that it's intended, it's been fine. We've checked it a good few times. They've been using the whale fittings, so again, nice whale fittings. Again, they don't use any fixings on these, so these are just sealed on, so these are just reliant on whoever fitted them has sealed them up properly. So whereas when you put the screws in, you knew that those screws pulled this into the body and pulled the sealant all into place and made sure it was sealed in properly. So I don't know, are you better putting screws in from the factory or not? I feel that you probably are, but I think their idea is that if we don't put screws in, it's one thing less to actually cause a leak, but if it's sealed up properly, why is it going to leak? And if it's not sealed up properly, whether you've got screws in or not, it's got more chance of leaking without screws. So yeah, I feel like they're still doing the same things that they've been doing for the last while. But what is the build quality inside like? That's what we need to find out. On the back, so again, same sort of cassette toilet, normal sort of fittings, nothing special or different there. And then as we come into the caravan, really good little layout. These are a fantastic layout, 5.5 meters in length, so from very front to very back is 5.54 meters. As I say, 1,090 maximum. Let me just check what the empty weight is and how much we can actually put in this. 955 kilograms. So we've still got a good loading margin there, about 145 kilograms of weight into a little 4-berth, so we still put good amounts of weight in. But is the build quality any good or not? How have they kept the weight down, and have they sacrificed and caused problems by doing that? So one nice thing is they've got nice big hinges on here. They've used little sort of tab catches, which again they work fine, to be fair. They feel nice and robust. Same in the kitchen. Normal sort of unit, so they've always tended to use the combined grill and oven, so again that still is the same thing. It's a Thetford unit. They have moved on to an electric ring on that, so that's really good, and then you've got 2 gas ones as well, so that's quite nice. Nice little kitchen area. Bit of a little extender bit here. Again, maximum 6 kilograms, so you don't want to overload that, or it's probably going to rip the screws out of the wood paneling, because it is quite thin, because they're trying to keep the weight down. So this is disappointing. This is really disappointing. So they've used crap little runners, basically, and crap. I get why they've done it. They've done it to keep the weight down and to keep the price down, but I don't know. It just feels like it's unfinished. They're screwed in, so hopefully they're not going to cause any issues long term, but they just feel a bit flimsy. I think they could have done that better. The actual panelling that they've used is really yeah, but it's just literally the runners that they've tended to use. Yeah, they just to me they just feel a bit crap. So I don't know. They're obviously a lighter weight runner, but could they have used something different to keep the weight down, and just a bit better than that? I am trying to pick and be quite harsh, really. If that's the biggest issue that we've got, fair play. In the sink on the water system, they actually fit a water filter. So again, I don't know whether they could possibly get rid of that water filter and it might save a little bit of weight. But yeah, good thing and bad thing really, I suppose. Problem with the water filters is over the winter, if they're not fully drained down, they'll split and cause you water leaks. So again, that can cause water coming into the caravan. So but it does filter the water through for you if you want to drink the water in the caravan, and it is slightly better. So nothing to sort of report. Everything looks nice and good. There's a few bits and pieces, it's only just come in, so it's not been cleaned as yet. And yeah, got a few cables. The little sticky tab has obviously come off of the wall there, so it's just, that's the sticky tab rather than sort of manufacturing issue, to be fair. Little drawer at the front, they've used a rubbish hinges again, so not the best of quality, and I suppose over a period we could get screws coming out of that and causing a bit of an issue. So again, time will tell. It's going to be one of those that I think that you're going to end up, I don't know, is that better, that actually there's not as much tension on the screws, so it doesn't cause the screws to come undone over time? I don't know. Normal sort of slat, so again that's normal. That's fallen apart already, so that on there, that little edge trim needs screwing back into place already, so that's already started to come. It's not even 12 months old and that is already coming apart. So again, simple fix, but should that be coming undone after 12 months? It's obviously not been glued, it's just had screws in there. I can feel where the screws go. So the better way now for the dealer to fix that is to remove that, glue it and then screw it back in. So we've got two lots of fixing basically, so that shouldn't then be able to come apart. But obviously if that was just screwed and glued from the factory, it stops the dealer having issues down the line and warranty problems. Again, nice little fittings, to be fair, in there. Nice fridge, so the Dometic fridge, standard sort of three-way fridge, so again it's a nice little fridge in there. They're still using the whale heating, so it's got the blown air whale heating that does your hot water as well. Something that I had noticed is a little TV bracket on the side here. So, and again we've got our 230 volt and 12 volt and aerial points on here. In the wardrobe they've put a nice big bracket in to secure that. So there is a good fixing bracket that they've gone at the back of that bracket, so that's a good thing. Table. So the little securing bit for the table, the screws are already coming out of that. So again, we're going to end up having to either relocate those screws very slightly or try and plug and fill them and then screw back in. But that's the problem with that, is that's such a heavy table. It's right over the wheel arch, so every bump and bang that you go onto the road, it's all going through that table. And I think that it doesn't matter how many times that you rinse and repeat the process of filling the holes, screwing it back in, you're always going to have that issue because of where that is. I think again, if they could have fitted it into a nice little runner at the side or somewhere slightly different than there, it might have been better, because that is just going to be an ongoing issue. But again, is it a massive issue? No, it's a niggly one, but again it's something that could be avoided potentially at the factory. Something else that I've noticed is the bunk bed. The little catch that's in here is actually out of the little hinge or the little pin that secures the bunk bed into place. So it does just screw in, but again it's come out already in less than 12 months. The pluses, really nice upholstery. The upholstery that they've used in this is really nice and a really good quality upholstery. So I think that's an expensive addition really that they've put into this, and that's going to be really hard wearing. So for kids, if you've got this sort of size van, you've probably got smaller kids. So again, this bottom bed here makes into a single bed, and obviously you've got the bunk bed. So the chances are you're going to have the kids, and that is going to be a really good hard wearing upholstery for the kids. So that is a really good plus. As I say, all the finishing on the materials that I've used is nice. It's just those little sort of niggly bits that we've just had as an ongoing thing, and it seems that there's just not been any sort of thoughts at the factory of, oh right, okay, these are the ongoing problems, how do we stop them? You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You've got to change things, and that is the only problem that I still feel, that although dealers and customers have said, oh actually yeah, the newer Elddises have been really good, they are better, yeah, I would say some things are better. Again, in the kitchen area, something I've just noticed, just not great fitment here, but it's not sealed up and we're right next to the tap, so as we get a little, inevitably we're going to get water onto here, and that's just going to cause problems to these panels here, so that just needs sealing from the factory. So it just seems as though maybe, yeah, they are going forwards and trying to make things better, but they're not fixing the problems that have been there for a long time. Which again, it comes back to us as the dealer, that we've now got to go around and spend time sealing all these up, refixing things in. We've got to re-glue panels in. It shouldn't be like that, should it? It shouldn't be like that. But overall, a really good lightweight van for the money. You've just got to expect, I suppose, when you're buying this sort of a thing, you've got to expect you're going to get little niggles and things, and that is true of any caravan, whether you're spending £50,000. Saw a post again this morning on Facebook of a brand new Lusso that's at a dealership. The habitation door, the door where you come into the caravan, completely different colour to the rest of the caravan. Do you expect that on a £50,000 caravan? No. So none of them are perfect. None of them are perfect. I don't suppose I've been overly impressed. I think that we're still down the same lines as what we've been for the last, I don't know, 5 years. Hopefully the processes at the factory are better, but I still feel there's things that Elddis could have done to stop potential issues. And yeah, that's my verdict really. Let me know in the comments what you think. This is a cracking little van, to be fair. It's still got all the manufacturer's warranty, so again, there's no issues with warranty and what have you. We are selling it, so I've sort of put my name to it. So it's a good little van, but still I feel it's a risk for us selling these, and that's the honest truth. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.